right, let's bring in Arkansas Republican Senator Tom Cotton. He's a member of the Select Committee on Intelligence. Senator, why don't you just weigh in on Jillian's report there?
Well, I think these reports are very troubling, especially the CIA officer. Why does a CIA officer have a social media page expressing political opinions of any kind? The CIA and the intelligence world in general is not supposed to make policy, and to post a post a picture of a Palestinian flag waving the day the Israeli Defense Forces goes into Gaza is not some innocent expression of sympathy with the Palestinian people. I mean, it's obviously expressing hope for their victory over the Israeli Defense Forces. It'd be akin, I would say, to having an intelligence officer in our Department of War on December 8th, 1941, posting someone waving an imperial Japanese flag or a Nazi German flag after those countries had declared war on us, and vice versa. So these people should be, at a minimum, suspended and have their security clearances suspended until an investigation can decide exactly what should be done with them.
But to the degree that the agency had to remind staff then that it violates agency policy to post personal positions on social media, I mean, should we have senior officials, senior officers in the CIA that need to be reminded of that, Senator?
Well, it's unfortunate that we do. I mean, I've long thought that people who are in our intelligence agencies, and for that matter, our uniformed military, should not be on social media. They certainly shouldn't be posting political or policy viewpoints on social media. Maybe if they want to use it as a conduit to see the grandparents or the grandkids, that's one thing. But to have intelligence officers and military officers on social media expressing political and policy views, in my opinion, that runs contrary to their commitment to give nonpartisan, unbiased viewpoints and assessments to the policymakers, the people who are elected to make those decisions for the people of the United States. And that's just any kind of view at all, even if I agree with it. Certainly waving a Palestinian flag the day after, or the day that Israel's defense forces moved into Gaza to try to destroy terrorist savages like Hamas is beyond the pale.
I want to ask you now, obviously, as we have been focusing on this hostage release at this hour, as the war continues, there is a quote in the Washington Post on the Israel war creating divides inside the Biden White House. With this headline, White House grapples with internal divisions on Israel Gaza, Senator. It reads, quote, the Israel Gaza war has roiled the administration more than any other issue in Biden's first 3 years in office. According to numerous aides and allies inside and outside the White House, as staffers agonize over their positions on highly emotional issues. Before I ask you how you support any conditions on further aid going over, what is your reaction to that? What are you hearing about this divide inside the West Wing?
Well, I think it's appalling that Democratic senators like Bernie Sanders are calling for conditions on our aid to Israel, as if Israel is some third world despotism abusing its own people. Israel is an elected democratic society that suffered the most savage attack against Jews since the Holocaust. And the divisions you see now in the Democratic Party is because Democratic leaders like Joe Biden and Chuck Schumer have allowed a growing anti-Semitic wing to rise in the Democratic Party. Chuck Schumer gave a big speech on anti-Semitism on the Senate floor today. That's great, but where's the action? He didn't call out Bernie Sanders by name for saying that we should condition aid to Israel. Yeah. They've looked the other way for years, while you had campus radicals who then went on to positions in their own offices in the Senate or in the administration of Barack Obama and Joe Biden saying that we should boycott Israel. And now all of those chickens are coming home to roost for the Democratic Party for allowing this growing anti-Semitic wing to fester in their party.
Just to be clear, this is where we caught up with some Democratic senators on whether or not there should be conditions on aid to Israel. Here was a few of the responses real quick.
Israel's an ally, a friend, so no.
I would oppose conditions that, in effect, straitjacket the Israeli government.
Well, there are conditions, of course, for anyone who receives military aid from the United States.
Just a real quick response to that, Senator, before we let you go.
Well, I'm pleased to hear some Democratic senators saying that we shouldn't condition aid to Israel as if it's a third world despotism. But more of them need to push back firmly against their actual colleagues. This is not some idea of campus radicals or intellectuals. It's their colleagues, people like Bernie Sanders. And they need to say that we should move on to pass the Israel aid bill that is on the Senate floor, that has already passed the House of Representatives, yet Chuck Schumer and every single Democrat voted not to send it to President Biden just 2 weeks ago.
Senator, appreciate you coming on today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.